Hello Libra, welcome to Cat Mama Tarot and welcome to this timeless reading. I trust that this finds you when you need it the most, but as always, please use your discernment, and if there are no messages here that resonate with you, then leave it behind, come back another time, come back and watch a different video. And also feel free to watch this for any Libra placement in your chart. All right, well, the cards have started without us. First card I've got here is Bravery. Explore your inner wild places. Next, we have Spiritual Insight, Sacredness. I think Aquarius maybe got that. And finally, Your Path. Have courage to follow your own path. Well, isn't that interesting? There's a little bit of a theme here with bravery and courage. And then the last card, the card that's at the bottom of the deck is Forgiveness. All right. So I feel like Spiritual Insight is our first card here. It seems that you are going to receive or potentially receive some spiritual insight here that is going to really speak to your path or the next path for you, the next chapter, kind of where your path is heading next. And there's a need for courage and bravery to really follow what feels true to you and what feels in alignment with you, and what path you're being encouraged to take next. With Forgiveness at the bottom of the deck here, it seems that perhaps there is a need to forgive yourself or forgive others, or maybe some combination of the two, in order to really let go of something, release something that maybe could potentially be getting in your way of tapping into this insight, accessing this spiritual insight that is going to help you know which way to go, right? What your path is, or the next steps on your path, like what those are. All right, let's see what messages we have from the tarot, so we can get a little bit more clarity on the messages here for you, Libra. We start here with the King of Cups, followed by the Ten of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, nice balance here, the Five of Wands, the Ace of Cups at the heart of your reading, Strengths, the Nine of Cups, the Two of Swords, and the Eight of Swords, with the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. And she was in reverse. I'm turning her right side up, but I'm noting to myself that she was in reverse to see if that is relevant for your message here, which I'm having a feeling it might be. All right, here, let's get started with the heart of your reading, which is the Ace of Cups. As soon as I saw this Ace of Cups, I was thinking about the Forgiveness card and the need for really focusing on loving yourself, being kind and compassionate with yourself, filling your cup, loving on yourself, caring for yourself, really providing yourself with the love and the care and the nurturing and the attention that you deserve, Libra, that we all deserve, right? And it's critical for us to fill our own cup before we try to attend to others' needs, and attend to our own needs as a way to create a foundation that is needed to then be of service to others. And I think we're taught otherwise. So this is something that we have to kind of learn through the course of our lives. And when we can really focus on filling our cup first and loving ourselves and providing ourselves with that kind of care and compassion and kindness, it enables us to get into a place of forgiveness, certainly for ourselves or towards ourselves, but it also can help us forgive others. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to condone the actions of others if you feel that they don't merit that. But when we can find a place of forgiveness for others' actions, and usually that's based in acceptance, it enables us to release something that maybe is getting in our way. I love here that we've got the King and Queen of Pentacles surrounding the Ten of Pentacles. So it's like you've got the Ten of Pentacles in between here, which is a focus on what it is that you want to create, what it is that you want to build, what legacy do you want to leave behind, what are the components for you that make up a meaningful life, that make up a life well lived. And with the Queen and King of Cups surrounding this, I feel like it's speaking more to that need for love, that that need for honoring your feelings, honoring your emotions, the Queen of Cups, tapping into your intuition, really allowing yourself to feel emotions in order to understand them, in order to understand the guidance that they are providing you. And by understanding them and recognizing them for what they are and really understanding their origin, we can process those emotions and, again, like release any emotions that may have become stagnant or that perhaps we haven't been allowing ourselves to feel previously. We also have the King of Cups, who is the master of the emotional realm. He has mastered the emotional realm. He has stepped into a place of emotional maturity where he can manage his emotions. He can receive the guidance of his emotions. He can maintain a sense of calm and equanimity despite what's going on around him, right? If there's a lot of chaos around him, or if the emotional waters are turbulent, he can find a place of calm. He can find a place of peace because he has mastered his emotions versus his emotions having control over him. So the message I'm getting from those three cards is that really focusing on emotional mastery, honoring our emotions, allowing ourselves to feel our emotions and process our emotions and allowing them to move through us, which is what they're meant to do, emotions, and really coming to a place of emotional maturity and mastery over our emotions, not like controlling them, right? Not in that way, but really like having equanimity, right? Where you are at peace with your emotions, where you are receiving the guidance of your emotions, like the King of Cups, where there's a sense of balance, right? He's balancing those 6 cups on his head. He's balancing the past. The 6 of Cups can speak to the past, right? So he's found a sense of balance in terms of what's happened in his past and what's happening currently, where he can be at peace and stay calm despite what's going on around him. That is going to enable you to actually move towards and work on putting into place these different components that make up this meaningful life that the Ten of Pentacles reflects. That doesn't mean that life won't be without its challenges. I mean, I think we've already been speaking to that, right? That things are always going to come up. Life is always going to present us with challenges. I mean, hopefully not 100% of the time, but life is a place for us here on earth to learn. And so typically we learn through the challenges that we face. And so that's the message of the Five of Wands, really, is to view the challenges that you may be facing in a way that is framing challenges as opportunities for learning and growth and development. And that takes strength. And really, the strength card isn't so much referring to physical strength, even though that's what's shown here. It's more referring to the strength of self-awareness and acceptance. So the word or the phrase "know thyself" is something that comes to mind with the strength card. The more we can know and understand all parts of ourselves and accept all parts of ourselves, the stronger it makes us, the more it enables us to handle anything that comes our way, right? Because we understand what triggers us. We understand, what makes us joyful and happy. Like, the more we can really have a whole picture of who we are and understand and accept ourselves for who we are, the better we are equipped to navigate our lives. And the more we are able to move in the direction of wish fulfillment. So you've got strength here, you've got bravery here, you've got have courage to follow your own path. And those are the things that are going to lead you to a place where you are having your dreams realized. You are able to come to a place of wish fulfillment. So what is it that you wish for? What does that look like for you, Libra? What does that feel like for you, Libra? What is wish fulfillment to you? That's really important to know for yourself, because the more we can have a sense of what that would feel like and what that might look like, especially what it feels like, the more we can gravitate towards that state of wish fulfillment, and we can attract the things that would achieve wish fulfillment for us. At this point, with the Two of Swords here, things may not be clear, right? Your path may not be totally clear right now. And there's a need to wait for that spiritual insight that's going to help light up the path, that's going to illuminate the next steps, the direction that you want to be moving, the way forward is what I'm hearing. And so the Two of Swords typically signifies there's a need to wait for clarity, that you may be thinking about different options and you may not feel gravitated towards either one in any particular way, or neither may be pulling you toward them, strongly. And that could signify that there is a third option or a third way that has not become apparent to you yet. Part of the Two of Swords also involves the need to balance your heart and your mind. Your heart and your head. So things may not be clear to you right now because you may be too in your head, or you may be too consumed by emotions. So there's a need for balance. There's a need for balance. And we've talked about kind of balancing those emotions and really doing some emotional work, doing some emotional healing, really kind of stepping into emotional maturity through working with your emotions and honoring your emotions and processing your emotions. So, so it seems like perhaps because there's so many cards speaking to emotions, that maybe right now you're a little bit too much in your head, and there's a need to move more into your heart right now and do some of that emotional work, and that's going to lead to these insights, and it also could contribute to that self-awareness that really emboldens you and helps you build up the courage to move in the direction that is going to ultimately lead to wish fulfillment. And that's this idea of exploring your inner wild places could be speaking to that emotional work, right? Sometimes it does take bravery to look at ourselves honestly, to look at our past honestly, to do some of that work to, address the wounding that we've experienced as children or in other parts of our past. Next, we have the Eight of Swords. And so this could be actually speaking to that, to being too much in your head. And the Eight of Swords specifically speaks to ultimately feeling that we are trapped or stuck. But what it's saying is that, in fact, we aren't trapped or stuck. As you can see, she could just walk forward and not be she's not trapped at all by these swords, but her mind has convinced her that she is trapped. Or, with the Eight of Swords, our mind is kind of playing tricks on ourselves and making us think that we're trapped, think that we're stuck through limiting beliefs, through negative thinking, through old programming, old stories, right? So you can see here, right, that there's a need to kind of recognize what kind of stories are we telling ourselves? What kinds of things are we thinking or telling ourselves that are ultimately contributing to a sense of feeling stuck? And what kind of emotional work could we be doing to release these old stories, to release this old programming, right? How can we be working with our emotions and processing our emotions in order to free us from these mental trappings? And again, I just want to reiterate the importance of self-love and really, I feel like it's so interesting, this version of the Ace of Cups, because he looks like he doesn't think he deserves love, right? Like, who, me? Yeah, you. Yes, each and every one of us deserve to be loved. And that starts with loving ourselves. So that's really critical right now, Libra, is really loving yourself and loving on yourself and caring for yourself. And this is what I was saying. So the Queen of Wands is someone who is super confident. She is very passionate. She's very charming. She's magnetic. She can have anything that she desires, and she is unapologetically herself. She doesn't care what other people think about her. She knows and trusts herself, and that's how she approaches life, from a place of really true authenticity. And it works for her, right? By being her true self, she is able to attract everything that she wants. And people find her charming and magnetic, right? So that's definitely a message. And I think that, by doing the work that we've been talking about, like you may not be feeling that confidence in yourself right now. And so by doing the work that we've been talking about, you can turn this Queen of Wands right side up and really embody the Queen of Wands, embody that confidence and that sex appeal came to mind, right? And that charm and that magnetism and that authenticity, like being true to yourself, right? Being true to your path, being brave enough to be unapologetically yourself, and forgiving yourself for anything and everything that you may be holding against yourself. You know what I mean? All right, Libra, that's what I've got for you. I hope that was helpful. Take super good care of yourself. I'm sending you lots of love, and until next time, bye.